I started and spent most of my career testing enterprise insurance and healthcare software, and it could be challenging. But I know it's gotten even harder as enterprise applications today are more complex than ever. A modern enterprise typically uses dozens, if not hundreds, of software applications for day-to-day operations. These applications are built on multi-system, multi-environment architectures that combine legacy infrastructure, cloud services, and third-party integrations and diverse workflows. It could be a chaotic nightmare. And testing such applications requires a nuanced understanding of interconnected systems and a robust, scalable test design approach. And with faster release cycles becoming the norm, QA teams are under constant pressure to meet deadlines without scaling resources. And in this environment, skilled testers and SMEs often find themselves focused on foundational, repeatable aspects of test design, like interpreting multiple requirement sources, BRDs, FSDs, Jira stories, etc., mapping scenarios, and drafting standard test cases. While necessary, these tasks consume valuable time and could be better spent analyzing edge cases, expanding coverage, or optimizing your testing strategy. So, the folks at Tenjin wanted me to share with you their Workbench solution that they told me is designed to help empower QA teams by taking on the heavy lifting of the initial test design process, allowing SMEs and testers to redirect their time and expertise towards more complex, strategic testing activities. By automating the obvious and accelerating the first drafts, Tenjin enables teams to increase productivity, maintain high-quality standards, and improve coverage without adding overhead. Anyone I know that has worked on testing enterprise applications knows how cumbersome the entire process can get. Requirements come from multiple systems. You're dealing with a lot of legacy platforms and modern APIs built on top of it, a lot of custom workflows, and all of it needs to be tested across different environments. And here's the kicker. Even with the best CI/CD pipelines and automation frameworks in place, the test design process is still slow. It's one of those things that seems small until it delays your user acceptance testing by a week or more. And that's where Tenjin Workbench comes in. It's not just another tool, it's a smarter AI-powered approach to getting your first drafts of test cases out in minutes. And when you're juggling release cycles, that's a massive productivity boost. So what's holding your testing teams back today? Well, let's break down some of the usual suspects I hear all the time on my podcasts and webinars. First is SMEs still spend significant time interpreting and converting the most straightforward and obvious portions of business requirements. Test case creation takes days, which kills agility. Negative and edge scenarios often fall through the cracks as teams spend more and more time working on Happy Path because they only have time to meet the initial upfront requirements. Quality varies depending on who's designing the test. The ripple effect, late test design equals delayed regression and delayed release. So, where's testing heading? Well, testing is not just about automation anymore. It's about keeping pace with product and development. With Agile and DevOps in full swing, QA needs to move even faster, but without cutting corners. And the expectation's even higher for teams as they expect automation for repetitive parts of test creation, broader coverage across every layer, your UI, your API, your integrations, tight integration with tools you already use like Jira or Confluence, AI that adds value, not noise, so smart, relevant suggestions. So what makes Tenjin different? Well, based on what they tell me, what I've seen from their demos, Tenjin gives the SMEs and testing teams their time back to focus more on strategic tasks. Whether you're an SME, a test analyst, or a product owner, you can generate a fairly reliable first draft of test cases in minutes. And they're not just generic. They're smart, contextual, and based on your real requirements, not hallucinations. So how else can Tenjin make your life easier? Well, they have AI-driven test case generation, so you can upload your BRDs, Jira stories, screenshots, even scan docs. Tenjin reads it, understands it, and gives you ready-to-use scenarios. It also gives you some really cool contextual edge case coverage. It doesn't just follow the happy path. It picks up risk areas using defect history, logic branches, and missing cases. And it gives you more time for what matters. So your SMEs can review and guide, not write everything from scratch. And hopefully this will lead to productivity going up as well as the morale. No code, no gatekeeping. Anyone in the QA team can use it. No coding, no complex onboarding. And it also looks like it scales with you because Tenjin built for enterprise applications like banking, insurance, ERP, CRM, whatever you're testing, it can handle it. All right, so you're probably saying, yeah, it sounds good, but I need to see it to believe it. All right, so let's put this to the test. I have a simple application. I've been vibe coding. It's a test tool matcher. Basically, you put in some criteria. Just do paid for this example. And it shows all the tools that match that search criteria. So if we look through it, we could see the different types of tools. You can see Tenjin is listed. Shows pros and cons. All right, so that's the application under test. I have a requirement document for the tool matcher, the key sections, core functionality, etc. It's in a Word doc. So I'm just going to go to my Tenjin instance. I just did a free 30-day trial. I created a project. So first I'm going to add my requirements. I'm going to click on Add Requirements. Call this Test Tool Matcher. For some reason, I'm just going to call it Initial Requirements. I'm going to drop the document here. So I'm just going to browse. I'm going to upload my requirement doc. Click Create. All right, I use Word, but it does support requirements in any format, as you can see here. All right, now that my requirement doc is uploaded, I'm just going to go to Test Design. Click on Create New GenAI Design. So there I have my requirements. I'm going to click on the available requirements, and then I'm going to click on Create Test Design. All right, so now it's processing. All right, so I generated a bunch of business processes. I'm going to click on the checkbox to select all of them, and then I'm going to click on the Create Scenarios. All right, so check out how this GenAI feature instantly generated all my application requirements, different test cases, both functional and non-functional, also compliance requirements, risk assessment, and a bunch more. So this saved me a bunch of time rather than having to do it all manually. Now, let's select the scenarios to create test cases for. So let's click on the Generate Test Cases button. Now, if you go back to the test design, click on the drop-down to view GenAI design, click on the one we just added. We see all the business processes that we want to test cases for. It automatically generated test cases for us, so you can review these. You can select them. And as you just saw, with just a few clicks, you're ready to upload, create, and execute your test cases with minimal effort. So why does this work for your QA teams? Enterprise systems are growing more complex and timelines are shrinking. Tenjin makes sure test design isn't what slows you down. Instead, it becomes your team's edge. It can help reduce test design efforts by up to 30% for what they told me. It could cover more, and what I think is really critical, includes the tricky edge and negative cases that most teams miss because they're just focused on happy path and getting the product out the door. It accepts all input formats, structured, unstructured, visual. It can hopefully boost productivity without adding more headcount. Bottom line, as enterprise systems grow in complexity, QA teams need a smarter way to manage increased demand without compromising quality or velocity. So using a tool like Tenjin gives your QA teams the ability to accelerate first draft design, improve test coverage, and stay in sync with your rapid development cycles. It frees your experts to focus on strategic, high-value testing, not repetitive design work, making the process more efficient, scalable, and impactful. And as I always say, seeing is believing, and trying it for yourself is really the big indicator of whether or not it's going to work for you. So get started today and help boost your test design speed with AI using the special link down below. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, test everything and keep the good. Cheers.